Hello guys, welcome to Wisdom Trainings. This is Abhishek, and in this video we are going to learn about JMeter variables, how we can use them and how we can work with them. So let us just have a quick example and then we'll learn about what is the need of a variable. Right? So right click over here, go to add thread groups, and here in this I'll add a sampler. Right? I won't be adding one single sampler, actually I'll be adding 5 different samplers. Right? Now there are few things that I'll be specifying. For example, I would be specifying the protocol. I won't be specifying the server name. I would want to specify a port number, and that is 443. Right? Or say I would want to specify the server name as well. Say www.google.com. Right? Notice this thing. This can be say ignored as well. If I ignore it, this would work. Right? In the same way, I will specify the same data. Right? Now whenever I specify such data, this is known as hard coding. Right? So I just specified the data in all of the 5 requests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Now the thing is that when I run this, so before that I would need a listener to be added, and that is a view registry listener. I'll keep it above thread group. I'll run this. Right? Do not go with the sample names right now, but see the requests. Right? All the requests are to google.com, 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 and google.com. Right? I can specify something here as well. Right? So whenever I'm specifying this data here, this is called hard coding of data. Whenever I would want to make a change, for example, instead of going to google.com, I would want to go to google.co.in, right? Or google.co.uk, right? Or google.com.au. So that won't be possible for me, right? Because I have to say go to each and every sample and make that change. Now I can do something. I can make use of a variable so that I can dynamically change that data. So if you go to your test plan, you would find something named as user defined variables. Simply add a variable. Once you have added it, you can see it here. Now what you can do is you can simply specify the variable name. Say I will specify the sample name. Now make sure that you're following some say naming convention for the variables so that you don't get confused later on. I'm using camel casing, right? Sample name is say Google International Home. Apart from that, I'll define another variable. This would be say sample URL, right? And this would be www.google.com, right? These are the two things that I've specified. What I'll do is I'll simply make use of that variable that I specified here in user defined variables. Now notice it clearly. I have specified the variable name as sample name, right? How would I be able to access that? Suppose I would want to specify the sample name here, right? I can specify this data anywhere in JMeter. That does not mean that I can specify the name only or the server name only or the path only. I can specify the variable data here in the parameters as well. No need to worry about it, right? Now coming back to this, I would specify the sample name to be accessed here. So how would I be able to access it? So dollar curly bracket, right? Then the variable name curly bracket close. Done. Now regarding the sample URL, you can specify it here. Dollar curly bracket start sample URL curly bracket end. Right? I specified two things. I won't be specifying this thing everywhere. Let us just see whether it runs smoothly or not. If you notice something, Google International Home is the very say sample name, and the data inside it is this, that is say google.com. This is requesting this thing. This is what we wanted to send as well, right? Now I would be making some changes. I'll specify the same thing here. So I'll just copy paste the sample instead of having say older samples edited, right? I'll delete older ones, right? We have 5 different samples with the same data, and if I run this, you can see that Google International Home, right? I'll delete this. I'll make a change, a data change now. This is not Google International Home. This is Google India Home, right? So India home, and the URL has changed from .com to .co.in, right? And here, if I run this, you would notice that everything is changed. Google India home, google.co.in. I need not to make any change in the sample now. I'm just making some changes here, and those changes are reflecting there automatically. So this is the beauty of using variables. It is not limited that you should be using only one variable. For example, I would make another variable, say here, this time it would be sample name 1, right? And this would be, say, Amazon India, right? I'll add another thing, say sample URL 2, sorry 1, right? And here the URL is this www.amazon.in, right? And I would make a change here. This is sample name 1, this is sample URL 1, right? Then here as well, say sample name 1 and sample URL 1. I have made a change. Let us just see whether this is working fine or not. Say this is this, this is this. It is failing, right? There may be some data issue, right? So neither the say name has been picked up, neither the URL has been picked up. Why? Right? If you notice something, S has been kept capital here. So make sure that you're specifying the names of the variables properly. If you are not specifying them properly, you will face a lot of issues the way I faced issue, right? So over here, this is working fine. Google India, Amazon India, Google India, Amazon India, and Google India, right? So this is how you can make use of variables, and this is how you can specify the variables, right? Please try this as much as possible and say make use of the variables as much as possible, right? Thank you.